So the data for March of 2026 for Hampton Roads is in, and there are some numbers in here that should get your attention, whether you're buying, selling, or just watching this market from the sideline. 2,100 homes closed across the region last month, and prices are up 4.6% year over year. Inventory ticked up, but we're still sitting at 2.2 months of supply region-wide. And the rates, they moved through the month of March and April in a range most buyers haven't seen in years. My name is Craig Houston. I'm with the Moving to Norfolk team, and every month I pull the market data and give you the honest read on what it actually means for the decisions you're making right now. So I want to get directly into it, and I want to walk you through what these numbers are actually really telling us. The regional median sales price hit $361,000 in March, which is up 4.6% from March of 2025. Now that's steady measured appreciation, not the kind of market where you're going to see the number scream off the market or that's going to scream bubbles, but also not the kind of number that suggests prices are waiting around for buyers who want the time to market. See, year over year, this market keeps going in one direction. No surprise, up. Now, 2,121 closed sales is significant. That's about a 27.5% jump from February, which is the normal seasonality as we head into the spring buying season. But more importantly, it's 8% higher than March of last year. Now, volume is up as well, but buyers are moving. So you have 17 days on market region-wide that it takes for a home to actually sell in Hampton Roads. Let me say that again for you. The typical home in Hampton Roads went from listed to under contract in 17 days last month. Now that dropped about 19% just from February to March. Homes are moving faster as the spring continues to pick up. Now, 99.4% list price will recede over this time frame. That means sellers across the region are essentially getting what they asked for. There's no meaningful negotiating room in this market, especially on well-priced, well-conditioned properties. If you're a buyer thinking you're going to negotiate 5% off list, the data says otherwise. Now, you also have to take in the inventory picture because that is a nuanced one. Active inventory is up slightly to 4,752 active listings currently on the market, which is about less than 1% year over year and about 3.7% from last month. Now, new listings have jumped about 31.4% from February. Now, on the surface, that looks like supply is building, but months of supply actually dropped to 2.2 months, which is going to be down from a higher February number. Now, more listings came on, but more homes actually sold even faster. So the supply ratio has really tightened. Now, that's a seller's market dynamic. Anything under 3 months of supply consistently reads as a seller favorite condition. Now, rates have also continued to cruise and trend throughout the month of March and into the month of April as well. Now, the direction matters for how you're reading the market right now. See, as of April 17th, the 30-year fixed rate averaged about 6.29%. Here's the number I want you to hold on to though. A year ago, around the same time, the same 30-year fixed rate was averaging around 6.65 to 6.67%. So even at the high end of last week, 6.29%, you are about 35 to 37 basis points lower than where we were at the same time in 2025. Now, one of Freddie Mac's chief economists called purchase applications are going to be up year over year, and that buyers are entering a more affordable spring season than last year, even with the recent uptick. So for the VA loan buyers that are specifically looking in this market, who will actually make up a significant share of this market as well, rates were going to be running a little bit slightly under the conventional average for you, around 5.89% as of Friday, April 17th. If you've been sitting on the sideline waiting for rates to hit some magic number before you move, I'd encourage you to run the actual payment math on today's rates versus last March rates. The difference is going to be real, and it's currently working in your favor. But that means that we need to take a quick pause here, because if you're watching this because you're actively thinking about buying or selling in Hampton Roads, whether that's in the next 30 days or maybe even in the next 6, my team and I run this type of analysis every single month, and we apply it to the actual properties and the actual situations that are going to occur in the Hampton Roads market. So if you want a conversation about what these numbers really mean specifically for your zip code or simply just for your price range, give me a call or shoot me a text at 757-290-6303. And my link will be down in the description. You want to just book a call on my calendar as well too. So let's get back down into breaking down just the city by city on this market report. Let's start with Virginia Beach. See, it's the tightest market in the region right now. See, Virginia Beach has a median sales price of about $412,000, which is up about 5.1% year over year. Now, that means that you've seen 473 closed sales, which is by far the highest volume in the city by the region, and 11 days on market. Yes, 11 days, with 99.8% of list price being received. This is essentially asking for full ask territory. Sellers are in Virginia Beach are not really negotiating. If they're seeing something here, they're seeing that if you're buying in this Virginia Beach market, you are competing and you need to be ready to move fast with a clean offer. Inventory sits at 858 active listings with 1.8 months of supply. That actually sits right on par with Chesapeake, Virginia as well too, which is then going to be in the region, and that spring surge in new listings is up about 30.2% from February, and it has been absorbed almost as soon as it hit the market. And like I just mentioned about Chesapeake, it's performing remarkably well as well too. But you also have the median sales price in Chesapeake right now sitting at about $406,000, up 1.5% year over year. Now in Chesapeake, you're going to see about 311 closed sales, which is up about 28.5% year over year and 19.2% from February. And then there's the number that stands out. List price received is at exactly 100%. So that means that sellers in Chesapeake are getting their full ask on the median transaction. And remember, they have the same amount of days on market for these transactions with Virginia Beach at 11 days. Now, months of supply dropped about 29.8% year over year and 14.5% from February, which is down to 1.8 months of supply like I just mentioned. But Chesapeake's strong school system continues to drive demand that outpaces new listings coming to the market. This is not a market where buyers have room to actually test low offers. And you want to swing on over to Suffolk, it's one of the cities in the data set that requires a closer read. See, median sales price is sitting at about $410,000, but that's down 4.2% year over year. That means that this is only meaningful year over year price decline in the region, and it's worth understanding rather than just dismissing. See, the story isn't that Suffolk is losing value, it's that Suffolk's price base has been actually running elevated from years of new construction activity. And the mix of what's actually happening and sold in the market right now is March of 2026 versus March of 2025 is part of what's driving that comparison. See, you have 155 closed sales, which is up 27% year over year. Now, the list price received at 100.2% means that sellers are still getting over ask on average. And months of supply is at 3.3 months of supply, the highest in the region, but still below the 4-month threshold of a truly balanced market. The 20-day median days on market is also higher than Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. Suffolk buyers have slightly more time to make decisions than they do in other tighter markets. If you're considering Suffolk for the space and the value per square foot, then that case still holds. Just understand that a 3.3 months of supply that you're looking at give you more options to choose from, which is actually a feature for a thoughtful buyer. Now, so that takes us over to Norfolk, which closed March at a $315,000 median sales price, which is up about 1.9% year over year. That means that you're seeing 242 closed sales, which is up about 27.4% from February. That means that the days on market here is sitting around about 20 days on market, and the list price received on one of these homes sits at about 98.9%. The only city in the data below 99% other than Portsmouth. Now, that 1.1% negotiating gap is meaningful. On a $315,000 home, that's roughly about $3,400 of room that doesn't exist in Chesapeake or Virginia Beach right now. So for buyers who've been priced out of Virginia Beach or Chesapeake, Norfolk is still the most financially accessible entry point in the Southside. At $315,000 median and a VA loan, most E5 and above with dependents can structure a payment inside that BAH with positive margin. Inventory at 528 homes with 2.2 months of supply is competitive, but not as extreme as the tightest markets. Then if you shift your focus over to Portsmouth, this continues to be the most affordable city in the region, with the median sales price sitting at $272,000, which is down 2.8% year over year, with 151 closed sales. 18 days on market is the average time on market, with a list price received at about 98.1%, the most buyer favorable negotiation environment of any city in this report. Now, the inventory is tight though. It just sits at 280 active listings, but 1.9 months of supply says homes are still moving. For buyers with a tighter budget or anyone looking to maximize purchasing power per dollar, Portsmouth is worth serious consideration. The per square foot median at $187 is the lowest in the region. See, Hampton shows a median of $295,950, which is up 3.9% year over year, with 158 closed sales, up 21.5% from February. The standout data point here is 25 25 days on market, the slowest of any city we're covering. See, that's actually a positive signal for buyers targeting Hampton. You have more breathing room to evaluate properties and structure offers without the same urgency as Virginia Beach or Chesapeake. Now, the list price received at 99.4% says sellers are still well protected, but the combination of 25 days on market with 2.2 months of supply and a median price under $300,000 makes Hampton one of the better opportunities this market for buyers who do their homework, particularly for anyone stationed at or near Langley. Now, Newport News is the headline story of appreciation this month. Median sales price sits at about $313,450. Now, that's up 11.7% year over year, which that makes it the strongest price growth of any city in this report by a significant margin. Now, you have 162 closed sales, which is up by 3.2% from February. Now, that's 21 days on market. So list price received here is going to be around 99.7%. Now, an 11.7% year over year price increase in a single market really does warrant some type of attention. Newport News has historically been one of the most affordable cities on the peninsula, and that price base may be corrected as buyers who've been priced out elsewhere look east. For anyone considering buying on the peninsula, whether you're looking near Langley or Fort Eustis, the appreciation story in Newport News is one you want to be ahead of, not really behind it. So every spring, buyers assume that the seasonal surge in new listings means competition is easing. March data says otherwise. You'll see that new listings are jumping 31.4% from February. That's seasonal, but closed sales jumped 27.5% at the same time, and months of supply continues to drop, not rise. More homes are coming on the market and more homes are being sold. So that means that these ratios are going to continue to tighten. If you are in the market right now, the window to act on a well-priced home in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, or any of the sub 2-month supply markets is still 10 to 14 days from list date. So that data does not change. Do not walk into spring thinking the balance has shifted. The data does not support that in Hampton Roads. Like I said before, 99.4% list price received region-wide means sellers are in the driver's seat. But the numbers hides a detail worth understanding. That average includes well-conditioned homes that sold at 100% or above, and it also includes homes with condition issues that sat about 20 plus days on the market and eventually negotiated down. The market rewards condition aggressively right now. If you are considering selling, don't list a home that has obvious deferred maintenance and expect the market to carry you to full ask. Buyers in 2026 are condition sensitive in a way they weren't 2 years ago. The homes that are sitting at 20 plus days on market are primarily the ones that need work or are priced right ahead of their own condition. You price it right, you price it well, and this market will reward you. List it lazy and it will sit. 11.7% year over year price appreciation in Newport News is not a fluke. It really does reflect what happens when buyers who've been priced out of more expensive Peninsula and Southside markets start looking at the most affordable option. We've watched this pattern play out across Hampton Roads over the past 5 years. Affordability pressure in one city redirects demand in adjacent markets. So if you are a buyer on the peninsula and you've been looking at Hampton and you've been watching Newport News too, and if you own in Newport News right now, you are sitting on an asset that is appreciating faster than any other city in the region right now, and that is really worth knowing. So there you have it. You have your March 2026 Hampton Roads market update. We went over the numbers where you seen 361,000 was the region median sales price. You saw that 2,100 plus homes sold in the month of March, and 17 days is on average time on the median days on market. With rates ending at 6.29% last week, nearly 30 basis points lower than this time last year. Newport News appreciated about 11.7%. Virginia Beach and Chesapeake both sit at 11 days on market, and you're still having to give full ask or better to get those homes off the market. So if you have questions about what any of this really does mean for your specific situation, your budget, your city, your timeline, that's exactly the conversation I have with people every day. So give me a call or shoot me a text at any given time, and I really do mean that, at 757-290-6303. And I will leave the link down in the description for you to book time on my calendar if you really just want to do that as well too. If you found value in this content, go ahead and hit us with a like, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you would too as well too, because we do this type of information every single month. And if you want to be the first to learn about any and everything that's taking place in the Hampton Roads market, feel free to give us a shout here and just give us a subscribe, so that way that we can help continue to put you in the market where you need to be at. I put out this type of data as soon as it's released with an honest read on what it really does actually mean. I'll see you in April, and in the meantime, check out this video on the 10 things nobody tells you about living in Norfolk, Virginia in 2026. Y'all stay safe. Peace.